So for this presentation, it is on the effect of DDT use, and at first I actually thought that I would be against it, but after reading more I could understand why people would actually like it. But for the little bit of background, so why I thought I would be against it is because I heard of all the negative effects, and these stood out to me most, like the fact that farmers would use this kind of pesticide to help keep pests off their crops. That just worried me, that like the kind of pesticide used around your crops is stuff that's going to get into people's bodies and obviously be toxic to humans and animals around. But I realized that the good stuff that it happens with DDT outweighs all of the bad. So what is DDT and why is it used? DDT is an organochlorine, and an organochlorine pesticide is a chlorinated hydrocarbon that pretty much kills anything that it is put on. And they use this typically from the 1940s to the 1960s, really big, and it was used for mostly for mosquito control and agriculture, but it was used in World War II, which I think is pretty cool. It was used to help control malaria, typhus, the bubonic plague, and body lice. But this is one fact that kind of changed my mind. It said that around 400,000 people would die from malaria, and when they started using DDT, the malaria went from 400,000 to nearly none in just 6 years. So from like 1944 to 1950, around that time is when I got that fact from, which is pretty cool. That's awesome that they were able to control that. Farmers started to adapt to using DDT because it would kill all the pests that would come and eat their crops, which is obviously something they would not want, and it would help them save some money, help them save more time, which is pretty helpful. It was also super cheap and easy to make in the factories, and so it was easy for them to manufacture it and send it out for everyone around the US to be able to use it, which is why so many people started to use it, because it's also so effective. So a cheap way to kill lots of pests and diseases and widely spread it. So how does DDT work? It's pretty much affecting your nervous system, which is affecting your nerve impulse, which will kind of leave you in a contracted state. Which is why lots of people would not want to use it, because if you get too much of it is when you get toxic poisoning. But this would pretty much happen, I would say, more in like animal life, wildlife, depending where it was used. So why was it discontinued? It was discontinued because of its long-lasting effect. It said that if it's sprayed onto the soil, like if farmers use it, it could last in the soil for between 2 to 15 years, which is a pretty long time just to think about it. And it was toxic if you get high amounts in your body, but they did testing before they started using DDT, and small amounts were still toxic, but they weren't like enough to kill you, so that's why it was still available to use, which I think is pretty cool. If it's something that you can use and it's not going to necessarily harm someone that bad, then just be careful with it, and it's something that I feel like should be used still. Something that also changed my mind is I am from Arizona, and we just made me think about our scorpions, how many scorpions we have, and so I thought about the body lice that all the people in World War II had to deal with and all the scorpions that we have. And we do have lots of chemicals that you can spray to get rid of scorpions, but it doesn't really help that much, and they come back really fast. You have to spray quite frequently, and it's pretty annoying, and it hurts to get stung. So I feel like if there was something like DDT to help get rid of scorpions that easily, it would be a lot more effective, and so many people would actually like it. So that I feel like is a good reason, and that helped persuade me to change my mind about DDT. And yeah, that's pretty much it.